Hey everybody, welcome to another Stone-Faced Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here watching some more 86. We got some comments here today, so let's see what people got to say. We got Elkman from the episode Goodbye saying, Annette had a crush on Shin when they were young. Still has those feelings. So, that's a funny one.
I mean, that wasn't my read, but famously, I'm bad at reading when people have crushes on other people, so who the hell
Mhm.
knows? For me, anyway.
I suppose it just brings in an additional level of, wow, this really messed her up forever to the whole equation, really. I guess the way the show presented it was at least just basic friendship. I guess you just got to read more into it.
Well, I mean,
Maybe we just weren't looking.
it's either that or the comment comes from actually reading. So, you know,
Very
they might have
possible.
read the light novel. But I mean,
Mhm.
from my take, I didn't pick that up from anything Annette said or the flashbacks to her interacting with Shin as a kid. Or I mean, even thinking back to Fido's memories. Remember the scene where they're all like, whatever the camera is on the ground? We still haven't
Mhm.
figured that one out. After you put it in my head, why would Fido, a dog, have a camera? And it was like, and we see Shin face down, but there's a net still in the background too. So she's
Mhm.
there, but yeah, I don't see it much more than playing as kids.
I guess we haven't seen any other dogs, so maybe dogs in this universe just come with cameras. I don't know.
Well, I've seen actual animals.
Right, right. Let's see. Next comment here, Sage from Also Goodbye says, Annette's I can't do anything is a coping mechanism for her guilt and learned helplessness that Lena has been constantly attacking without intending to do so, and which ultimately led to their argument in the previous episode. This entire series is full of deep psychology, and there's a lot going on with Annette that has to be inferred from the way she acts and the way she says things because it isn't directly pointed out. She doesn't always tell the truth either. Also, speaking of bullying, have you wondered why she has all her suitors' pictures on display in the office, or why they are all either old men or literal children, despite her being an attractive young woman? I have.
I think we
Uh,
mentioned that earlier. I think
yeah,
we brought that up before, and I don't remember what conclusion we came to. I mean,
I
back
think
when
the
it gets
initial conclusion may have just been like she is specifically hamstringing these because she doesn't want to.
well, no, I thought she was getting set up with these. She didn't want any of it to begin with. She keeps getting them set up. I don't think she's hamstringing then if she keeps getting set up with these things. I don't know.
Right, right.
Before we start thinking of Annette as a good person, I keep thinking that maybe she's killing them. Like this is a long series of serial killings.
If Annette like turns around and reveals herself to be a serial murderer, I think that is maybe too big of a twist at this point.
I don't know.
Like earlier it could have worked, but from now on I don't think it works.
Everyone seems to be walking back my comment about that
Mhm.
she experimented on kids and whatnot once she got took charge of the whole shit, what's it
Yeah,
called?
she just straight up admitted to it. So
Parade. Well,
yeah.
yeah, you and me think so. Nobody else seems to think so. Everyone else is like, I don't think she did that. I was like, if
Maybe she just meant her father did it and she picked up the work and now she feels guilty because of course she is continuing human experimentation that is unethical.
look, if her
Eh,
dad was doing it and then he killed himself because he was doing it because he felt so bad about doing it, nothing in that implies to me that when she picks up the work, she's not doing it too.
Look, no matter how bad we want to make Annette out to be, Annette sees herself as worse. So, next half of the comment, though, is I'm also pretty sure, but I'm going by memory here, so I don't recall the exact language, that Annette wasn't directly involved in the human experimentations. Oh, here's the text. She has inherited the research, corpses and all, from her father, and after his death, and you could argue her actions led her father down that path which ultimately killed him. But she didn't directly produce those corpses with her own hands. This woman is the embodiment of despair and utterly broken trauma. Don't be so hard on her. Not that she's the only character suffering from serious trauma, there's plenty more where that came from.
Once again, you might have. Wait, did you say you're anime only or not? Sorry.
I don't think they said anything.
Some people tell us when they're anime only or not, so we know that they have no additional information. So we don't know. We don't know if you're anime only or not. But anime only of us, we don't know that. All
Mhm.
she indicates is that she picked up the work again. And previous to that discussion, she tells us what her father was doing in that work. So we have no read on it unless she indicates to us or we see some flashbacks or something that she herself did not participate. And in that scene, she is
Mhm.
trying to make herself look like a monster. So, to indicate that she also experimented on kids would be the ultimate way to say, hey, I'm also a
Yeah.
monster.
It's all real complicated, isn't it? There's some deep psychology. To me, I feel like this is like the axis flip from the statement, "I was just following orders," where that line implies a level of complicitness in what's happening and not doing anything about it because you're actually kind of supporting it anyway. Whereas Annette says, "I can't do anything," is the reverse axis of that, where she's complicit in it but does not see any other viable option available. Which
Oh,
I think we talked extensively at length about, like, the ability to see yourself as having political action in the world, you know?
I thought you were going the other way, where you're saying shit to make yourself seem worse when previously you'd been saying stuff like I guess my example here would be the end of Breaking Bad, maybe,
Uh-huh.
where or not the very end, but
I am the
where
one who knocks or something.
well, no,
I've never seen
Walter has
Breaking
been
Bad.
pushing this thing this whole time about I'm doing this for the family, I'm doing this for everyone else, so that when we get the time skip later on, and Walter confronts his wife, I forgot her name all of a sudden,
Yeah, yeah.
and she goes, "Don't fucking tell me you did this for us," and he just goes, "I did it for me. I liked it. It made me feel good," you know. And it's like realization, it's just coming, we're coming clean. That kind of
Mhm.
flip of her, and I guess the flip of the flip being that Annette in this situation is saying to make herself look bad, I did it for me. I liked
Yeah.
torturing those kids. Think bad of me, Lena. Think bad of me.
If I tell you that I did it because it was me and I liked it, then it appears like the world makes sense suddenly, rather than this world that doesn't make as much sense, where I have been complicit in things I didn't like. Yeah, again, complicated, right?
I mean, who the hell knows when we have an unreliable narrator in play as well, who's
Yeah.
like, I know they don't typically do this because I guess a lot of people consider it bad writing, but
Mhm.
if Annette was to just say something that's not true in order to make herself look worse, we would never know. We would just never know.
Right, unreliable narration. Ultimately, the problem with it. How do we know which thing to trust from who? But that's all our comments, and we got another section right here. Theta's thoughts. So, Theta, what are your thoughts?
All right, some of these are just observations, so I guess hang in with. The paperwork Shin was signing off on were material shipments for the experimental unit, basically receipt claims.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just hey, sign out your ammo. Sure.
Well, I think replacement parts for Juggernaut version 2. I'm sorry, I can't
Shin
remember what
knowing
they're
he's going
called.
to break it and getting the stuff ahead of time.
Well, no, if you pause and look at each sheet, they're like uh, replacement parts for each Juggernaut sort of thing. They're not Juggernauts, I
Mhm.
know. I just can't remember Reagan Fleet for whatever they're called. Um,
Yeah, Black and Wolf. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why he's signing so many. Because, well, you'd think he's signing so many because they're like individual parts, but no, each one has like this for this unit. I need these two new legs or this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Do you think if Frederica's power is to see a person's past, as she said before, that she's constantly reliving her time with her knight, not just in a bad memory sort of way, but regretfully seeing it over and over again with her power?
I think if we extend that too far, she becomes Dr. Manhattan.
Well, no, because she has no ability to change it.
Well, yeah, but like it's the Dr. Manhattan perspective. It's like I see all points in time that I've been a part of at all times forever. Um which definitely a little bit nightmarish considering what she's gone through. So yeah, no, I vibe with that
Well, I
still.
think it's more of a psychological thing because one, it's not just anything that he's
Mhm.
taken part in. She said her claim is that she can see Shin's past. That's how she knows the things, which means
Yeah, yeah,
she can see the past of anyone she's ever interacted with,
yeah.
which is more than just my own timeline. I'm looking at your timeline during the
Hmm.
parts that I wasn't there for. That whole
Yeah,
the
yeah.
anime thing of how do you know the part you weren't there for
Yeah,
scenario.
yeah, she's the answer for it. She just knows. She reads the script.
But
It's
it's
good.
more of a psychological thing, is what I'm saying. Is that you're saying
I
it's
think
not the reliving the thing over and over again. She feels regret, and she keeps looking back at it, right? Kind of like
mhm.
looking at a message line that you have with an ex, hoping that one day it'll beep with another message.
I
She's not trapped in it or anything, but she is a human ass being who can't help but keep looking back at things that
right.
she feels pain
I
about.
think you've grounded our psychic power here back down to reality, which is what is the purpose of it? What metaphor does it serve? And the answer is right here. It is the reliving your trauma deal, the continually feeling guilty looking back on the past kind of thing.
She's Groundhog's Day, but in a way that she can't change.
Right, exactly. She gets to see it up front in person every single time she thinks about it.
Actually,
It makes sense, and it makes it is good for grounding back like the trauma we care about in this kind of story in this scenario, right?
it's actually one of the Hellraiser movies. I think some people consider it the worst until other movies came out after it and they became the worst. It's one where the cop it's like a murder mystery thing, but the cop doesn't realize he's dead and in hell the entire movie. So he keep having to relive these horrible experiences that all happened in one day.
Oh, geez. Well, I guess that's just classic horror movie sequel, right? Where it's like every movie after the first just gets worse and worse, right?
Well, I don't know. Well, Godfather obviously doesn't apply to there. Godfather 2 is the
Let's,
best movie in that.
is Godfather a horror movie?
Well, it depends. Are you Italian? On December 2nd, we saw Lena's position at the start of this core. Oh, sorry, I've got images.
Oh boy.
I've
Oh
really
yeah, the
gotta,
battle maps and stuff.
I've really gotta start putting when the images I need. I'm gonna send you everything at once, and
Sure.
then hopefully I don't mess this up. And let's see on the overlay map. Okay, I'm doing the on the overlay. I'm doing the flip thing, so it'll just come on its own. I don't have to keep doing it. Let's see. On December 2nd, we saw Lena's position at the start of this core with a battle image, Legion Map 1, of the map and a board of her current squad. Sorry, I've done multiples here. I also didn't hit enter over here. I apologize, Griff. None of those scenarios, you didn't get a single image.
It's just staring at nothing,
Yeah.
thanks.
Alright, and I'll bring up the faces here that I'm now referencing. Of the map, and a board of her current squad, Faceboard 1. I don't think I pieced it together at the time. I said that a lot during my Theta thoughts. I don't think I thought about this at the moment. But it
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
as though, with her demotion, that she is no longer in control of Spearhead Squadron. Cyclops specifically says that her group, the one Lena is commanding, will be sent to Spearhead soon. 7 months later, 3.5 episodes, we get a flash to her room again on July 7th and see the battle map, Legion Map 2. Sorry, let me bring this back over here again. Legion Map 2, with them even more surrounded. Some of the forward
Oh
operating
yeah.
bases still seem operational, but I can only imagine under constant siege. But even the gaps in the Legion offensive are now completely filled in. On the Faceboard, Faceboard 2, I should have written this out better. I apologize. Uh, we can see that of the 20 people in her squad before, only 9 remain.
Right. Even if she's not in the kill squad, things are getting bad enough that people are literally just dropping as quickly as possible.
Well, no, it might have been that they did join the kill squad. Remember, they said we're going to be
Hmm.
joining Spearhead soon. I used to know a guy that was on there, and then talks about Shin. But it's been 7 months. So it's not possible they joined the Spirit Squad and then just got fucking mowed down.
I have a feeling like when we get back to Lena might have a few words to say about all this.
Any comments?
No, I think other than figuring out like whether or not they got spearheaded or whether it's just going that badly, maybe the difference doesn't really matter that much.
I mean, that's an opinion.
They're all gonna die. They're completely surrounded, and we're gonna need the miracle to save them.
If this was a MOBA, the Republic is a bunch of feeders. Sending out an entire population of people that aren't allowed burials, just giving the Legion what it needs to survive and get stronger on purpose.
Gosh, it's yeah, no, they absolutely are, aren't they? But we don't have like full text of they are trying to specifically make the Legion even worse.
I mean, we don't, but it's what it reads as if you put it in a MOBA context.
Hmm. Um, so we did learn new information last time. Something to the tune of like, well, they just kind of attack people who are armed. Do you think they wouldn't attack people if they're unarmed?
I don't think you're putting that information in the right context. They were using that
Maybe.
as the reasoning for why they couldn't send their own ground forces alongside the Legion.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
the default is they will attack the enemy, but they'll also attack our guys if they're armed. And they said even down to just holding a knife. So the
Yeah.
Legion will use any reason, excuse to classify somebody as an enemy. Well, no, I'm saying you're saying that they'll attack anyone that's armed. I'm saying they'll attack any enemy, and then they will classify their own people as enemies for any reason whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. I guess that does narrow the field, though. We also have the extra complication of all the shepherds now who make the entire thing even less clear. It's like, will they or won't they kill entire civilian populations? We haven't actually seen that yet. From now on, we don't know what
We've
they're gonna do.
seen the implication of it.
Hmm. Yeah, we've seen the implication. We've seen like the dead cities. Like, obviously something happened,
Well, no,
right?
I don't even mean the dead cities. Right back when the very first implication of, hey, they're eating our brains sort of thing came into play,
Yeah.
they were in the middle of a fight that was happening like in a town or a city. Like there was even a giant Alba billboard up in the middle of the fight area, which stood out to me.
Hmm.
That's why I remember it, which is very much an indication of this is the battleground area. That could have been the example of, hey, we've been fighting in the middle of towns and eating entire places full of people.
Yeah, but I mean, it does bring to mind like a very completely crackpot idea I have that the leadership of the Republic are feeding the Legion and then intend to disarm themselves completely and surrender in the hopes the Legion passes them by after the entire war part is over. It it only makes sense in the terms of someone who is absolutely crazy. And we've only seen one person who is a part of that leadership. And, well, Jerome sure is Jerome.
I mean, I don't think that would work.
I'm not sure it would either, but that's why I said like this is like a crackpot idea. It could happen. The wording is there that maybe it could,
Well,
but
but
it's
the information
unlikely.
that we don't, the information that we got from that episode says that even the Federacy thinks that
Mhm.
information is anecdotal and laughable.
Yeah.
That they couldn't send their own forces in because even if a guy is carrying a knife, the Legion will take him out.
Hmm.
It's if you think about it, it's a net 209 situation, right?
Hmm.
The unarmed gun at 209 blows the guy away for.
Yeah. There's we gotta see a circumstance of them just like actually hitting some civilians at some point. we haven't actually gotten direct visual of that in the show
I
yet.
think the implication is strong enough that we don't actually need a direct visual.
Right,
Also, we
true. But it
kind
would
of,
put an end to my crackpot ideas, at least, right?
well, sure, the same way that heaven is another dimension. Am I right?
No, it was a portal, I swear.
Well, it's
All
not. We
right.
saw the end of the show. So Kira is going to be Rey version 2, except that Rey held back because he wanted to protect Shin and make him a Legion too. As far as we know, Kira has lost it and only cares about Frederica. So when Shin shows up to take care of him, he's going to have little to no reason to hold back. This might be us seeing what a fully unlocked Shepard is capable of,
Hmm.
or even greater than just an unlocked Shepard with Shin's bloodline of psychic powers. The only step up from that I could possibly imagine is if somehow Frederica's extended family got legioned. A Shepard with past present sight, always knowing where you were and what you were doing. That's the Pegasus from the Legion right there.
Oh gosh, yeah. um, let's see. Can I make this even worse somehow? I swear I had like a thought on it. So, not only someone who has these psychic powers, not only a shepherd that is unlocked, but also one that actually had probably some real military training, because I don't think Shin's brother had that at all.
Well, I mean, technically, he survived as a spearhead for an extended period of time, so he has on the job training.
Right, true.
And as
But
we've
like this might
seen,
be a shepherd that might actually have like some real officer training or
no, it doesn't
something.
matter. As we've seen from this, Spearhead shows that on the job training is better than uh,
Better than the robots
actual
and everything
training.
they do.
Well, no,
Yeah.
better than actual training. We have the officers in the Federacy getting actual fucking training, and then we have Shin and Gang. They try to train them, but it turns out Shin and Gang are better than their training because their on the job training has made them the survivors that the officer training school could never have made them into.
Right, right. That is fun. All right, what else you got?
Also, Kira is already trained both ways.
Yeah.
Remember, they were the knight. They were there protecting
Yeah,
them,
that's
and
what I'm saying. That person has the training.
yeah. Well, you said, how can I make this worse? I'm saying that's already where we're at.
It is already the worst possible scenario. What if they were also on fire?
Would matter, they're machines. I know this is a point of contention because he doesn't know what he'd be risking by doing so, but I think if Shin just revealed his power when trying to warn the Federacy intelligence about the coming attack, that they'd be able to figure it out and believe him, rather than him just being frustrated when they tell him all about their intelligence gathering measures and
Hmm.
how they verify all the information being received, and nothing aligns with what he's saying. I get that almost fear of aliens thing. That if he says how he knows, that they might try to dissect him or something. But
Yeah.
this is the Federacy. People that, even while mourning their own dead, plead for the kids to retire from the military and lead fulfilling lives when they can. I don't believe that they would harm Shin if he spoke up. I believe Shin is harming them by remaining quiet as to his source, and then being grumpy about it as he says the Federacy is going to share the Republic's fate. At the very least, they are already predicting a large scale invasion without Shin's numbers.
Right, right. It comes down to like the talk we had last time, which is the how much is the Confederacy what it says it is? How much do they actually trust them? What is actually going on? Because again, as far as we've seen what appear to be a bunch of genuine people who are trying to be as good as possible. Whether or not that's actually true, we haven't really seen counter to it yet, other than that they don't believe a claim that they can't validate immediately.
Well, that's my point, is that Shin
Yeah,
is
which
hurting them by
yeah,
not sourcing his
Shin's personal
information.
biases and experiences before tell him, well, that means that they're disregarding me.
Well, I think my entire point more so with
Mhm.
that comment is that the show presents Shin in that moment as the all-knowing sage, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, these stupid Confederacy people, they're going to suffer the same fate as the Republic. They're no better than the Republic is. And in that moment, just given a moment's thought, you realize, no, Shin, they're trying. You're not giving them the information they need. You're
Mhm.
just saying things and then getting upset. And it's like, I understand you've been through a lot. I'm on board with your story, Shin. You just need to do a little bit more. Give them what they need, or all these people, all these good people, are going to die because you're holding back.
I have two more complicating factors to this. The first might be Shin might be hearing this correctly, but have the target wrong, i.e., he is actually hearing about all this going to the Republic and assumes that it is actually about the Confederacy. Uh, so that's a case of him misinterpreting what he's hearing. The second one could be now that his brother is dead, maybe they're feeding him false information. Maybe the robots have caught on to
The
this.
Confederacy is already anticipating a massive strike against themselves.
Hmm.
So that's not wrong information. They already their intelligence network with the backup information and everything like that. They're like anticipating, like, I think the example was given, like they're anticipating a strike of like 300, and Shin is telling them no, it's like 1,000. You know, it's gonna
Yeah.
be like three times more, or three times and then some more than
Mhm.
what you're anticipating. It's gonna be worse. So if you're only
Right.
preparing for 300, you're gonna get killed.
Which I guess could change our interpretation of the line of like they're not the heroes they think they are from like him trying to declare them as like actually evil or mean spirited and instead like him declaring them as already dead. They aren't going to be heroes because they're going to die. Which
Well,
might be the more generous interpretation.
the again, I don't believe that either. I believe that with the right information, that these people are intelligent and capable enough. Like, they've retaken areas from the Legion
Right, right.
before. I that
Right,
I
right.
think
You
that
have a
they.
better opinion. Shin is the one with the terror with the
Well, no, I don't
back.
agree. I don't agree with that opinion either. I think Shin is holding back for reasons unknown, and it's not
Mhm.
that. When you brought up other things, one other thought that came into my mind is that maybe he doesn't want to tie himself to this
Yeah.
place. And I don't mean like I want to remain emotionally distant. I mean, like, we know that Shin's family was from here and then
Yeah.
moved to the Republic. That maybe his bloodline is associated with something here that we don't know right now. That he doesn't want to give away his lineage for some reason.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
If I say I have this power and you say how do you know? And I say, oh, I have this power. You mean the power associated with those monsters in the, from the
With the
Empire?
royal family,
Yeah,
yeah.
or these people that did horrible things, and then suddenly everything changes for you and the group that you're with.
Shin turning out to be a prince is just going to make me laugh. That's all I'm going to
Well, I'm
say.
not saying Prince because obviously it's a different power than Frederica, who is officially the bloodline. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it is a thing that clearly indicates to, I assume, anybody in the Confederacy, you must have belonged to X family, which did X thing.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
All right, I got no. I already sent you those.
Okay.
I've got to bring them up on the overlay though. There. When Greth is going over the Nordlicht squadrons being included in the 177th Armored Division, we saw a readout of the Western Theater Forces image. You specifically said, that's a lot of test units. I do know you said that because I went back and re-listened to it just to make sure what our argument was about.
Yeah, yeah.
And I pointed out that Nordlicht was the only test unit there. Someone actually went through the effort to handwrite it all out. Kanichi Kaniko on Twitter. That's
Hmm.
the clearly the images being cycled through here. That's obviously the ones being hand drawn. So give them a thanks if you want. And the most interesting thing is that they are using real life military unit symbols. Like the artillery squadrons have a dot in the middle of their square that literally represents artillery. So this is just my no knowledge read on what each part means. First Brigade Combat Team is a armored anti-tank unit, symbolized by the triangle, anti-tank, piercing action, and the circle around it representing armor, trank treads. Trank treads. Tank
We'll
treads.
get it eventually.
Yeah, now I'm moving letters around for some reason. I'm becoming dyslexic as I read. The single X on the top of the box represents size. In this case, brigade, 2,000 to 20,000 personnel, several battalions. HQ company just means that it is an HQ unit. The line across the top of the box. The single line on top indicates its company status, 60 to 250 personnel, 2 to 5 platoons. Beneath that, we have the same triangle with a circle and 3 lines.
Mhm.
We already know that that represents armored anti-tank, but the 3 lines on top represent a regiment, 500 to 3,000 personnel, 3 to 7 battalions. Thus the 101st Regiment. The 102nd below them are the same. At the bottom, we have the 27th Infantry Regiment. The infantry aspect is represented by the cross over the square,
Ooh.
apparently evocative of bandoliers. And then the 3 lines above indicating a regiment. Moving down the board, I already explained the artillery symbol for the 177th Artillery, but also the X symbolizes that they are a brigade size unit. Beneath them, we have 3 battalions of armored artillery. The circle we covered to mean armored, and the dot in the center we covered to mean artillery. The 2 lines at the top representing battalion size, 300 to 1,000 personnel, 2 to 6 batteries. The next new one, I actually don't know. The 1028 EX Regiment. We know its size, but the EX I have no reference for. The only markings I found like that represented an executed unit. It could mean exfiltration unit, the group sent in to rescue people from a combat situation, but that typically is a EXFL. Of course,
Or it could just be our experimental unit then.
no, that's Nordlicht. They're already somewhere else on the page.
Oh, okay.
This is literally, I'm teaching you something, Griff. Pay attention.
I'm
I've
trying, I'm
I've
trying.
literally seen you out of the corner of your eye, looking every other direction than at the images I've sent you.
I got dogs distracting me. Look at this little girl.
Well, don't let dogs distract you, Griff, unless you have enough dogs for the rest of the class.
That's a challenge. I'll take it up.
Of course, literally, my next interrupt me. Literally, my next sentence is, "Of course, our test unit Nordlicht is also in this group." Beneath them, we have the 1028 Supply Regiment, denoted by the line across the bottom of the square. Unsurprisingly, beneath them, we have the 1028th Supply Regiment as well. Clearly, I think that was meant to be the mechanics. I've just typed the same thing twice for some reason.
Yeah, the last
All
column looks like support.
Yeah. All told, taking in this organizational chart, the minimum number of personnel I'd expect there to be on the Western Front at the moment would be 16,780 people.
That's pretty appreciable right there.
What's minimum numbers?
It's definitely not 100,000 killbots like we were saying a moment ago, but that's still a pretty appreciable army for, well, I guess one of at least 3 divisions.
Well, yeah. I think that's probably right. I cover why it would be 3 divisions in my next comment, but
Yeah, like we could say maybe there is 177 of them, which would put them at like 2.8 million apparently. But go ahead and tell us your thoughts then.
I don't know what numbers you just threw at me.
You said there's like 16,000, right?
I said at minimum I would expect there to be on the Western Front 16,780 people.
Yeah. So there we go. If there's 177 divisions, that's 2.8 million soldiers.
No, there
It
doesn't have to be 177 divisions.
It doesn't have to be, but that would
That's
be
a
the top
naming
end of it.
convention. Well, that's a naming
Yeah.
convention. I don't believe they replace the previous 176 if they existed. If they died, they get cycled into different company names and whatnot. Also, as you
Right,
can
yeah.
see from here, we have 4 fronts, right? This organizational chart being represented. We don't
Mhm.
have 176 different, battalions showing up.
We probably don't have 3 million people.
Well, my point being is that your inference is wrong. I believe.
Right. My inference is the absolute maximum top end of possibility.
Well, no, I mean your inference that the fact that there is a 177th indicates the existence of 176. I think my example here is going to be from a different anime that we're
They have
literally watching.
1757778, huh?
What?
They actually miss 176 on this.
Well,
So
that's
I
what I'm.
guess they're dead.
Well, that's what I'm indicating. Well, I'm leaning back towards an example I was going to give from another anime that we're currently watching, which is Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Right
Mhm.
when the second and sixth fleets are destroyed at the Battle of Astares, they get merged together to form the 13th fleet.
Yeah.
The second and sixth no longer exist, but we're
Yep, yep.
still progressing the numbers.
Right, yeah.
Same idea here. And again, the fact that the board isn't just Western Front, 177 ticks of lines.
Right, which then like puts our also like our minimum end is what, like around 60,000
Well,
or 45,000.
again, I don't know what you're throwing numbers without you're not indicating the math you're doing, right?
If we have just the 3 that are on screen, which supposedly exist in a similar structure, and each of those is 16,000, we have around 45 or 48,000 total soldiers.
Right. This is
That
why
would
in
be the
math
minimum,
class they
and
tell
our
you,
top end of that is at 177 divisions. We would be at 2.8 million.
again, doesn't exist. So you just cut off the sentence. But
Um,
I'm saying is in math class they tell you to show your math so people understand how you got there. So
I got there by making it up.
when you just threw out the billion number, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I've completed an entire math-based degree system without showing my work, and I'm the worst. So,
Yeah. Well,
what
I
else you
think
got?
in a discussion it's more important that you just don't jump up to, oh yes, that indicates like 4.5 billion. What does? I'm sorry, can we take a step back there, Professor, and you can educate the rest of the class what the
So what else
fuck
you
you're
got?
talking about? So, layout of the world. We've confirmed the survival of the United Kingdom of Roa Gracia and the Alliance of Wald, and to
Hmm.
believe they have defensive perimeters large enough to sustain themselves. We know that these two are to the north and south of the Federacy. Eugene wanted to take his sister to the ocean at some point, so I'd figure that to the east of the Federacy is likely the coast. We know San Mongolia is to the west, so we've basically got a keep on the borderlands situation of world building. Remaining
Hmm.
civilization lies to the east, but the keep, the Republic, lies on the edge of the unknown.
Hmm. Now that you mentioned Keep on the Borderlands, I'm thinking it's like, oh yeah, robots in the wilderness. That could be fun. But no, yeah, we're slowly getting an inference of the map. They got to draw it out for us eventually, I bet.
I don't think they will. I think if they were
They
going to, they would have been
gotta.
the map that we saw at the opening of season one, where it was just
Right,
the
right.
real world that we live in.
What else you got?
Oh, that was it. My main thing was the.
All right then. So I suppose with all of the thoughts gone, let's go ahead and see what happened last time and see what we got to say about that. Last episode was it was Welcome Back, wasn't it? I gotta double check on that.
I literally renamed all of our scheduling just so you'd be able to figure it out. And now
Just
you're telling
making
me you
sure.
can't figure that out either. There's
Hey,
literally a
sometimes I
no
got
win.
uncertainty here.
There's no win for you, Griff. You've tried
Last
both
episode,
methods.
there's no winning with me being stupid. Last episode, welcome back. With the Confederacy analysts predicted a massive Legion offensive, the Confederacy military decides to reorganize its forces in order to prepare for the attack. Ugh. Greth takes the opportunity to reunite Shin and Nordic Squadron, who have been
Nordic.
previously split up to assist other units. Greth briefs Nordic about the coming Legion attack, as well as the discovery of several surviving countries, but they still haven't gotten any responses from the Republic. Shin submits his comments about Ragnleif's performance, as well as his own warnings on the Legion attack, though Greth is skeptical about the numbers of the Legion he is describing. Federica visits Shin and tells him more about Kiria, who was part of the Nozen clan and is Shin's distant relative. She reveals that after the Empire declared war on its neighbors, the people rebelled against the royal family. Since the legions were not designated to combat domestic rebellion, the royal family was forced to rely on their personal guard, and Kiria eventually went insane trying to fight off the rebel army. Eventually, Ernst was able to capture Federica and faked her death. Believing Federica was dead, Kiria allowed himself to be taken by the legion. Federica then cautions Shin that he should seriously think about his future, which reminds him of Lena. Meanwhile, in the Republic, Lena continues preparing for the Legion attack who are closing in on the Republic's borders. So, that's the situation we got right here. So, do you, what do we think about the Legion plan to basically surround and attack everything all simultaneously?
We've never seen any waterborne Legion units.
That is true. They're all crossing bridges. You think if we just dump them in the water, they'll just sink? I'm pretty sure,
No, I'm
right?
just indicating that the Federacy, to what I previously stated, I believe is
Oh,
on the coast.
oh yeah. If they actually managed a full amphibious assault, that would probably change everything. But I guess that all just depends on the kind of factory that's building everything and if they can actually set that up. We don't have much info on that. What else we got here from last time? We already covered like the way Shin and Greth and the Federacy are all thinking of each other.
I'm realizing now the fatal flaw in our back and forth, Griff,
Yeah.
is literally I give all of my thoughts and Theta's thoughts about
Mhm.
whatever I think is going to happen and
Mhm.
what's happened previously that we may have missed in the other episode, and then you do a recap and then start asking me things, and I realize the post recap section is really just about you. This is the Griff thoughts section because I've already done my thing.
This is all about just making sure we're clear about what happened before we go on, because sometimes even you've mentioned like you don't remember things that way.
Yeah. Right. I'm saying that I've given most of my thoughts out there, and I don't really get anything from the recap bit
Mhm.
that I didn't previously already research. Obviously, there's shows that we do that I need that fucking shit, like Symphogear,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The shows that I don't have the Theta's thoughts for, those are the shows the recap is the back and forth. But
Mhm.
the Theta's thoughts section shows, the recap is really for me to hear what you have to think about the next step or what's coming up next.
Right, of course, and I've already done the whole back and forth and given you all my crackpot ideas. So you know what? Today, let's just go ahead and get started then. But before we do, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can go ahead and follow us over on the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. It's all support the channel, just a little bit extra.
Click the link down below, join the Discord. Let me know if I made any mistakes in that organizational breakdown. I did a lot of research, and I really want to know if I missed anything.
The Legion's on the move.
I guess not as crazy as Rye is the indicator we're getting.
Yeah, this seems like pretty put together.
No, I mean that Kiria is giving like actual military style orders, and not like rays flailing around.
They're attacking everywhere all at once.
Because we never heard a Legion before, is my indication that this is a big thing.
Mm-hmm. I think that's supposed to be our knight, though, so...
It's what...
We
Griffin,
just don't get their face.
do you not know who Kyria is? I've referenced Kyria, 20 times in the Theta's Thoughts area. And then I've just said, that's Kyria. And then you just said, that's the knight.
I thought you were saying for a second that was a faceless Legion, and we've never heard the Legion talk before. And so I just missed that part then.
Right, because your statement implies to me that you don't understand that Kyria is the knight.
So sometimes I forget names, especially after they were said.
My thing is that you forgot the name. I hope would be that during the Theta's Thoughts thing, where I specifically reference characters, you would say, Kyria, who's that again? Or, I don't know who you're talking about. You know, something to indicate to me that you need clarification.
Right. Sometimes in context it's easier, but actually music's a little loud. That's probably part of it. There we go. So we did talk previously about Kira actually maybe having full military experience and not just the on-the-job training like we were talking about.
Literally never used the word maybe. You're now including maybe for some reason.
That's just mean. Now hit him with the pillow.
Well, it's probably trying to escape without Frederica. Also, how mean is it to drop somebody's head by an inch?
Anything shocking is usually not nice.
So it's been a month.
他の三国に振り分けると思ってた兵団の一部が連邦側に向かってる。レギオンにとってもこの西部戦線が一番の重点らしいな。そいつはまた光栄な話だな。お前、今日の戦闘はなるべくなら必要な時以外はつなぐな。慣れたつもりだったんだけど、正直今夜のこれはきつい。了解。
Again, would have been better if you'd shared any information, Shin, other than the little bit of information you shared.
I didn't think Shin could get more serious.
Okay, what the fuck? Again, Shin is more willing to point a gun at his allies than fucking tell them information they need to know. I'm losing. Shin's estimation for me is here, and it's starting to go down.
He did at least make a set of moves to put things into motion and get people ready.
I understand the necessity, don't get me wrong.
Oh, I love this anti-tank rifle line. This is actually
But what he's doing is I'm the cool main character shit, and not the let me tell people what they need to know to survive shit. Also, indicatively, this has been a month since his last time he talked to them. If he had said everything a month ago, they could have prepared better than one night he pulled a gun on his commanders.
It could very possibly be that they knew all along and just didn't want to share that info. But also those, like, chain Merv...
No, that's not the case, Griff, before you just let them try to defend Shin against this. No. Remember, we got the whole, we verify information with our intelligence group.
But people could lie.
I think if your Occam's razor is people could lie, then you're on very shaky ground, Griff. Because Shin didn't fucking tell you where his source was.
Those are the same images, unfortunately.
At least it's not an ad for PDFs.
ご命令はありませんでしたが、叱責は後でお受けします。
いいわ。事情は後で聞かせてちょうだい、少尉。他部隊の準備が完了するまで何としても前線を維持して。
了解。退避しろ。早くレーベどもが来るか。
All actual foot soldiers. God.
That's how good their armor is. Dude doesn't.
He's actually in one piece after
Yeah.
that, yeah.
He might be. I mean, I would assume knocked out, but it could be dead from concussive impact too.
Oh, absolutely.
It kind of looks like the outfits that the guy who like tested his armor against bears used.
Oh, yeah.
Again, seriously though, if Shin had shared his information as a source and they had believed him, imagine how many people could still be alive right now.
You know what? We might actually get him reprimanded in that way.
I am so angry that he's pulling a badass main character and not I'm a member of a group of people I care about.
Maybe that's the lesson he's gonna learn, you know? Hey, doing the artillery specialist thing. Let's go. Oh, that's just unnecessarily cool. I love it.
So they put her in a mobile suit.
Sniper artillery. Oh, that is... Oh, it's so cool.
Oh, sorry. I saw her face and thought Frederica for a second. Of course they put her in a mobile suit.
Oh, that's even worse.
It's like, why are you commenting about this? And it's like, oh, it's just Kira.
Oh, it's so cool.
And then take into account, I'm going to be shitting on Shin all episode. Take into account, Shin was saying, oh, these things are no better than juggernauts. These things are clearly better than juggernauts.
They are performing incredibly well right now.
ノルトリヒト戦隊戦隊長新鋭ノーゼン少尉です。状況は
攻勢を仕掛けたレギオンの第一陣はどうやら撃退に成功した。他の戦区も同じだ。緊急出撃組のお前たちが戦線を支えた結果だ。よくやってくれたな。残っていた他の隊も全て出撃している。もう大丈夫だ。
Fighting desire to make a jerk-off motion.
司令部の指示に従え。ここから先は我々連邦が引き受ける。
お言葉ですが、先のレギオン部隊は先遣隊、次の第二陣が本隊です。今下がればこの戦区が陥落する。
なんだと？
ここの防衛はお任せします。こちらは本隊の迎撃に出る。進軍の先頭を叩けば少しは勢いをそげるでしょうから。
待て、少尉。それはどういう？
更新終了。
Ah, what a fuck you, love it.
I feel like the problem that Shin has is that he's advanced too far. I don't mean positionally, I mean, what is that thing called where you get promoted beyond your station?
Not sure. Over promotion.
Shin is amazing at frontline combat. He does not have the prerequisite skills to be able to tell people what to do or organize things.
Right, yeah, he's a good squad leader, if anything. But maybe that's about where it ends.
So I'm saying he's in charge or responsible for an entire frontline battlefield now. Well, he's not responsible for it, but the information shit that he's been given, right, kind of makes him culpable for it.
We almost got the Akira slide with giant robot spider. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I'm just torn between cool visuals and the resting knowledge of what Shin is responsible for now.
I know it's gonna eat you up the entire episode until someone says something about it. I know.
Well,
But
no,
just enjoy the cool robots.
it's gonna eat me up until the first comment responds and I have somebody to argue with.
Oh hey.
That's the Republic flag.
This is a visual representation of the power. I love it.
No, that was the Republic flag, Griff. Not the Federacy flag, that was the Republic flag. I imagine indicating that he's not on this front. It's me! I'm still in the show.
You get to look grumpy at this.
I'm upset at Shin just like I am on the show. Yeah, you really didn't need a patch in to find that out, considering your powers.
The one character who can answer that question immediately.
The fuck was that?
Wait, no, I think she saw the dream sequence we got last season.
I don't think so. He wasn't naked in that one. Oh, Shin gonna die? Is that the meaning of the broken gun?
I think so. Or at least here we're seeing Shin literally doesn't care about dying.
Oh, he looks like Kira did in the flashback, that's the thing.
Is absolutely crazed too.
I think also the interpretation is that the Republic is lost.
Oh, 100%. I think we just agree on that.
No, that we saw it.
Yeah.
With Frederica's vision thing. And that Kira is on that front. Which is what she's trying to tell Shin. He's not here. Yeah, when those die, it seems to represent that the battle is over.
That is a terrible state for him to be in.
Occurs to me that this is Ochi Gundam. Shin would slap her for some reason.
Oh, God.
I don't want that, I'm just pointing it out because it occurred to me. Conversely, Frederica, in my estimation, going up. Shin going down. Oh, Sledgehammer, that's north, right?
Yeah.
Low in the bridge.
聞こえているプロセッサー各員、戦い抜いた各員、生き抜いた各員、ようやく退役だ。お互いよく頑張ったな。ざまあみろ。
Oh, that's they're making everyone so cool. Even the guy who blows up the bridge.
Oh, it's last stand shit. Yeah, it had to be.
They're still partying.
It's a
What the-
festival. Revolution Festival. You're not reading the banners?
それより誰か警報止めろよ。うるせえな。
クランミュールがレールが
They're in range.
No, they're already in.
今の警報って
一応知らせとくぜ女王陛下。大攻勢が北部から始まった。北部
Yeah, get all that north.
西部戦線と東部戦線にも北から侵攻されちまってる。
ええ、アネとキクロプス分かってる。
Okay, Cyclops is still alive.
何をする気かね、ミリーゼ隊。
カールシュタール中将。前線の各戦隊をグランミュール内に呼び寄せ、レギオンが第一区に到達する前に防衛線を築き、そこで迎撃します。そうすればまだ生き残る道は。
やめておけ。
Oh, he's just in for the death of everybody.
このままレギオンに滅ぼされる方が共和国市民にとってはまだ。
I half expected him to say that me and the High Commander are about to evacuate.
が共和国のために戦うわけはない。共和国に迫害され、捨てられ、虐殺された彼らだ。
I know everything's proven that line wrong.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be his realization here.
That is also true, is literally what they said.
理由ならあります。私たちはまだ彼らが持っていない発電プラントと生産プラントを要しています。生きるため、戦い抜くためにはそれらが必要だと、これまで戦場で生き延びてきた彼らが判断してくれるはずです。
最初はおとなしく従うかもしれん。だが彼らはすぐに。
Do you have the time right now?
Jerome can waste as much time as he wants.
Yeah, his point isn't time based. But can Lena stand here and talk?
その時何が起こる。ただの虐殺ならまだいい。だがそう生優しくは済まないことは歴史を学んだお前なら知っている。
I mean, to be fair to Jerome, I think his entire point is we're reaping what we've sown, which was the other guy's point.
Yeah.
殺されるのをただぼんやり待っているのは嫌です。たとえ力及ばず死ぬとしても、それまでは戦い抜きたい。そうでないと、そうやって生きて知っていった彼らに、私だってそうあれると信じてくれた彼らに合わせる顔がない。ただいまの警報について説明があります。兵士、士官の者は行動に集合してください。繰り返します。ただいまの警報について。
Are you going to explain it though? Are
Oh, I
you...
wonder what they'd say. Ah, he blinked.
気の済むまで叶わぬ夢を追うんだな。夢を見るのは子供の特権だ。ミリーゼ隊。そして子供が夢から覚め、無慈悲な現実を知って。
But what are you gonna do right now,
そ
Jerome?
れを守ってやるのが大人の役。
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
時間くらいは稼いでやろう。
最初からそのつもりで。
せいぜい打ちのめされるといい、レイナ。お前の望んだ
Ah, he's still an asshole, but still.
Nah, he just believes what he believes. Oh, one last smile back. Well, I don't believe that Jerome was gonna sit back and wait to die anyway. He was always going out there.
Yeah, he had more going on, right? But this might be the one time you have to give it to your racist uncle, you know?
So much to unpack there that None of it needs to be said,
パラ
though.
ゲートアクティベート同調対象全プロセッサー
Oh, so that's what they've been building the whole time.
ブラッディ・レジーナより全ての戦線のプロセッサー各位レギオンによる大攻勢が始まりました85区内での集結と応戦を要請します国軍本部の人員は対人地雷の除去およびグランミュールのゲート開放を急いでください全てはこの日のために誇りを守るため最後まで戦いましょう
That was fucking amazing. I love that.
Yeah, no, like this is definitely like, oh yeah, this is the highlight Lena moment we've been waiting for, right?
Again, the crossed angles here. Shin's going down because he's doing the opposite of Lena. He's not giving anybody information. He's just saying, believe me or don't, I don't care, you're fucking gonna die. Lena on the other side, everybody fall back, we're gonna like. Also, you can only make this motion as a graph so long before you start crawling into Jerome territory.
Ugh. Shin is on his I should already be dead arc and like doesn't have anything to care for. The only thing that's gonna motivate him, like in personal change, is gonna be realizing Lena is out there and he can save her, I think.
Well,
I think that's exactly the arc we're gonna get on, and that's gonna put him back on the path, you know?
I don't know. Like you said, I'm in such a weird place with Shin right now. The whole didn't give information thing, then, well, gonna pull a gun on my superior officers to make them do what I want them to do. It's like, this is all, you're doing the I'm the badass main character, and not the informed character that you've been for like season 1. And then Lena is doing all the right moves, and it's like, okay, now Lena's informed and knows what she needs to do, like she wasn't in season 1. One character is learning and evolving, the other character is falling back into past habits.
あの日、キリは共和国を襲っておった。わらわに見えたのは、破壊された壁と燃える五色機、そして巨大なレギオンじゃった。
ってことは、85区内に攻め込まれてる？
じゃあもうダメなんじゃない？
だな。
まだ共和国を襲ってるの？
いや、今は。
殺してやる。
Oh gosh.
Did you get railgunned?
He's getting railgunned.
I mean, it's either they're getting railgunned right now, or it's midday and the sun's passing by, and Frederica just overreacted to an instant vision of Kira talking to her. Because you assume that Kira knows what her power set is, that she could be looking at him at any point in time.
And I was not expecting jump scare robot brain message, you know?
Well, I mean, we know Rai's face was about. Kira's is at least, like, full, whereas Rai's was, like, breaking apart all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Rai was, definitely crazy. I think that's the best way to put it.
Well, he wasn't in a full mental state when he got taken, whereas Kira wandered out intentionally wanting to be taken.
Mm-hmm. Oh, gosh, this was a really cool episode. This was just, like, everything cool about the series in, like, a big go, right?
Well, I think the clarifying statement for me is that despite not liking Shin in this moment, it still was great narrative for this show, right? Like,
yeah,
it's not like a par for the course situation where, oh, main character's doing the main character thing again. It's Shin's doing something negative, or at least I'm considering it negative, which is a narrative, right? There's something happening here that I'm invested in, and I'm giving negative feedback for, but I'm invested nonetheless, right? I'm not upset as a watcher of the show that he's doing it, because when you see a show where the main characters are doing stupid shit, you're like, don't go in there, the killer's in there. You're not less invested in the show. You're more invested. I want Shin to come back. I want Shin to evolve. I don't want Shin to go down being the character he started as. I want him
And
to
you're not
rise.
entirely off base either, because that's what the show was showing us during his fight, right? That he's going a little bit over the edge. He's being a bit crazy, bloodthirsty. He doesn't care about his own personal safety more than usual. He doesn't even react to feeling pain. Uh, he is not in a good place. The other characters do recognize this, and we have to like put him somewhere bad for him to pull out of that, right?
Well, it's not the first time we've seen this. He's done it
Oh,
at
of
least
course.
2 other times where he starts
Mhm.
grinning on the battlefield. And I think it was implied to us before. I can't think if it was the battle with Ray or it was the battle where we thought they were all dead, where
Mhm.
where he just doesn't feel anything around him, like he falls into it. Battle meditation,
Yeah.
whatever.
You get your focus, your little zen when you're doing something you're really concentrating on. So yeah. Of course, he's a very happy, crazy son. So. But yeah, no, like you're not entirely off base. He's not making the best possible decisions in his life because he is not in a great position in his life as far as he is concerned.
Well, again, my problem isn't that he's not making the best decisions for himself. It's that he's making bad decisions that are hurting everyone around him.
Yeah, that is definitely a character flaw right now. Like I was saying during the episode, it's possible that after this is over or he gets a break, we might actually get a Federation character giving him a reprimand, saying it's like, "How did you know this? Wait, you had this the whole time and you didn't tell us, and we could have used that? Are you stupid, kid?" We could definitely get that
I mean,
moment,
I
I think.
kind of would like that, but I don't think we're getting that because we've already flashed forward to the end of the battle and they're all recovering and no one's getting that conversation. They were all allowed to just go back to a resting area.
I think there's the big possibility of this because we can have another point of mirroring where Shin in the Federation gets the talking to of like, why did you hold this back from us? We're in all this together. We all need to survive together. We're all fighting together. We need to do this. And then we'll pan over to Lena where it's going to be her giving all the 86 that same kind of line and trying to pull them all into it's like, yes, we need to fight to the very end.
I think
together.
your metaphor exists in a situation where Shin is Jerome.
Yeah.
Not like he is that character, but Jerome's point of view is this is just the way it is, and nothing is going to change, and your point of view is dumb, and you're going to be crushed for having it. Shin is, the Federacy is too humanitarian or whatever. Their point of view is dumb, it's not going to survive this war, and they just waiting for it to happen, and in the meantime, I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing all along. He's basically Jerome in action, if not philosophy.
Yeah. Jerome definitely has more of a complete and total death wish for everyone. Like, I definitely... He's got more of that guilt. I think if we go ahead and connect over to Annette, we got the whole picture, right?
Well, it's not a death wish. It's he's committed to his philosophy of we can't let the 86 survive, otherwise the world will know of our crimes. And the
but
86,
of course, going through with
he
all
accepts
this means
the crimes. He
yeah.
accepts the crimes. This is why they'll never accept us if we call for their aid. And at the end of the day, we did commit those crimes, so we should probably die for them if we're all going to die anyways.
Yeah, he has the fatalistic viewpoint of like, well, if we committed the thing, we're going to experience the consequences of our actions, and that's going to be we're all going to die from the giant robots because it was actually a bad idea all along. I wonder how much more Jerome we're gonna get after he literally walks away with a gun.
He's buying her time.
Right, exactly. I'm not sure we're gonna get much more Jerome. He's dead at this point. He is absolutely narratively
We don't
dead.
know where the front is. We know that they're at the HQ, which is somewhere within the 85 sectors. And he's apparently on foot. Because, I mean, what's he going to do? He can't really, like...
He's going to pull Alina from the end of last season. He's just going to start running towards the edge.
Well, my point more so is we don't know how informed any of the citizenry is. or how much anybody cares, right? We know that they broke it in, so someone with some group within the 85 or the Alba know that the Legion is broken in and everything's a lie, whatever. And are we keep trying? Like, is there, what are they called? Is there a political officer out there somewhere? Like, quick, shoot everybody on the front lines. You know, kill all the Alba. If they don't say anything, nobody will know.
Gosh, if we get a scene like that, that'd be absolutely horrifying.
Well, we don't know to what extreme this is being taken, and we don't know to what level of satire we're going to go with here. Because, you know, I'm thinking of, like, the USSR Politica, not Politica, Politique, you know, the officers embedded in every military unit to make sure that everyone's following the party line, but also to make sure that any lies that are said by the party are enforced as truth. So, you know, quick, shoot all those civilians. We can't let everybody else know that we're losing the war.
Yeah. All right then. So I think that was a great episode, and I think that's where we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up over here. This has been Stoneface Reactions, everybody. I'm Griffith, that's Theta, and we'll catch you next time. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?